What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for La Liga Week 21 predictions. We continue to smash it in La Liga. We are top of the leaderboard so far, which is awesome. Last game week, we had 2 more perfect scores, which is awesome. So, like I said, I've said awesome twice, but both weeks in La Liga, we've had 2 correct scores, which is really, really good. And I'm looking forward to getting back in with more games. Real quick, flashing up on the screen are all of the people that are supporting me over on the Patreon. If you want to get involved, get a shout out in every single video, access to exclusive members tips and accumulators and everything like that, as well as direct messaging access to me, then click the join link in the description. But kicking it off with this one, we do have Las Palmas up against Osasuna. Both of these teams, we had a really good week last time out. We correctly predicted that Osasuna would draw 1-1, and we correctly predicted that Las Palmas would lose to Real Madrid but score a goal. We predicted that it would be 3-1 to Real Madrid. It was 4-1. We tipped Real Madrid and both teams to score. We tipped that this would be 1-1. So really good start, and I think we're going to do the same here. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Las Palmas and Osasuna, and I've got a really interesting tip for you guys. Both teams to score and under 3.5 goals. So that means 1-1 or 2-1 either way. The odds are 3.1. You could do both teams to score and under 4.5 goals at 2.25. Both teams to score on its own is about 1.9. Yeah, so you could go BTTS and under 4.5 goals at 2.25. That allows for a 3-1. That, you know, a 3-1 either way. It allows for a 2-2. But I don't see it. So I'm going BTTS and under 3.5 goals at 3.1. So 1-1 or 2-1 either way. I think that's a really, really good tip. After this, a difficult one to predict. It's Mallorca up against Real Betis. Now, Betis are struggling a little bit. I mean, they're only 3 points behind Sociedad in 7th, but they're 3 points ahead of Leganes, down in 15th. They're a good team, but they've only got 1 win in the last 7. Mallorca in much better form, higher in the table as well, in 6th place. So I think this is going to be a stalemate, and I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. I think Betis are a better team, but they are outsiders, and given that I think it's going to be a draw, I'm going to tip Real Betis double chance and under 2.5 goals at 2.15, because Betis double chance gets yours of about 1.5. It's really not that great, but just chucking in the unders in a game where I don't think we'll see a lot of goals, I think that's pretty good at odds of 2.15. After this, we have Atletico Madrid up against Villareal. Madrid 2 points off Real Madrid. Villareal, they just came off a massive 4-0 win against the aforementioned Mallorca, so I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I've gone for a lot of goals. Atletico Madrid here, this loss is insane, outrageous. All they needed to do was beat Leganes. They remain top of the league. I think they bounce back here though, 3-2, and I'm going to go for it. Atletico Madrid and both teams to score. I don't have the odds on my screen, but whilst I'm editing, I'll get them up for you. So it's Atletico Madrid and both teams to score at odds of 3.1. I love the odds. I think Villarreal are definitely good for a goal, but I think at home, Atletico Madrid win. After this, we have Sevilla up against Espanyol. Now, in the previous game week, if I go down to this one right here, Sevilla beat Girona away from home, and Espanyol scored 2 goals against Valladolid to win 2-1. So teams in decent nick, I guess you could say. I think Sevilla win this one. I think it's going to be low scoring. I'm going to say 1-0, but I actually think the odds of Sevilla to win at 1.7 are good enough. You could go Sevilla win and under 3.5 goals to bump it up to above evens, but I think Sevilla win, just leave it at that. I'm happy with that. After this, it's Valladolid up against Real Madrid. I'm going to go for very similar to Real Madrid's last game. I think Valladolid can score, but I think Real Madrid kind of wiped the floor with them. Real Madrid to win 4-1, and instead of Madrid at 1.25 winning odds, we're going to go with Real Madrid and both teams to score at 2.62. because the odds are just so much better. And Madrid, they conceded to Las Palmas in the first minute. They conceded to Valencia as well. They conceded to Sevilla. So they are conceding goals, and I think they will here against Valladolid, Real Madrid, and both teams to score. After this, it's Rayo Vallecano up against Girona. The odds literally cannot separate the two teams, suggesting really that Girona are slightly better, but Vallecano have somewhat of a home advantage. But you look here, and they're pretty similar in terms of where they are on the league table. Girona just turning a couple of draws into wins that Vallecano haven't done in their last few games. I'm going to go for a stalemate here, actually, 1-1, and the tip is going to be Girona double chance and under 2.5 goals at 2.15 because Girona double chance is just 1.4, which is pretty abysmal. I don't think there'll be tons of goals here. I could see it being a 1-1 draw, so I'm going Girona not to lose and under 2.5 goals at above evens. I think that's pretty good. After this, it's Real Sociedad up against Getafe. Getafe drawing with Barcelona. They always seem to get a result against Barcelona when they play at home. But Sociedad here, I think they can bounce back. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. The tip is Sociedad to win at 1.75. I think this is pretty good. I think it'll be low scoring. And I think Sociedad are better than Getafe, who have only won 4 games this season. So Real Sociedad to win at 1.75. After this, it's Athletic Club Bilbao against Leganes. We correctly predicted they'd beat Celta Vigo 2-1. I did not predict this from Leganes in the previous game week, but I think Athletic Bilbao will continue their really, really good form, pushing Barcelona at this point. I'm going to say 2-0, and the tip is going to be Athletic Bilbao to win 2-0 at 1.83, which bumps up the odds quite a lot. I don't think Lightning strikes twice, or Leganes strikes twice. They got their good result here against Madrid. I think Athletic Club Bilbao at home are a really good team, and I think they will win this one 2-0. After this, Barcelona up against Valencia. As I said, struggling a little bit in La Liga. I mentioned that in the Champions League video. I think they're going to win this one quite convincingly. I could see there being a lot of goals. I'm going to go for a 4-2 win to Barcelona. I thought about Barcelona and both teams to score. The odds are about 2.4, but I actually liked over 3.5 goals at 2.1 instead. It allows for a 2-2. It allows for a shocking, high-scoring Valencia win. I just think there's going to be 4 or more goals. A lot of goals in this one. And at odds of above evens, I was very shocked at the value there. So we're going to go for over 3.5 goals. After this, the final game, it's Alaves up against Celta Vigo. I mean, you look at this previous result for Alaves beating Betis. I know there was a red card, but still a very, very good result for them. Celta Vigo lost to Bilbao 2-1 as we predicted, and they lost to Rayo Vallecano as well. So this is a difficult one. I think Celta Vigo are a better team, but they're away. I think the home form kind of cancels each other out. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. But the tip, I quite like both teams to score at 1.8. Celta Vigo are usually pretty good for both teams to score. I would say, I mean, they've got 3 games in here where there weren't any goals, but they got 2-2 against Barca. They always seem to play well against Barca. They lost to Espanyol. You had this little stretch here, but then we're back with 3 or more goals in these 2 with both teams scoring here. So I think both teams score. I'm going to go for 1.8, 1-1 draw. But nevertheless, that is going to do it. For those of you that like a quick summary, here it is. This is the league of, the Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga, where I've sort of seen the fewest teams scoring. We have Leganes, Espanyol, Mallorca, Real Betis, all drawing a blank, in my opinion. I think we could see one of Las Palmas and Osasuna not score, even Alaves and Celta Vigo not scoring, perhaps Valladolid not scoring, perhaps someone here not scoring. I don't think this is going to be a particularly high-scoring week for La Liga. I do, however, think, the powerhouses, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid, could tip that and maybe bring up the goal tally. Because if you take out those 3 sort of anomalous games, I guess you could say, I've actually gone for unders in all of the rest. So I think this would be a lower scoring game week in La Liga. And to be honest, I haven't really predicted many surprises. Perhaps we see Barcelona fail to win again. But I think I'm very confident the likes of Real Madrid, Bilbao, you could see a shock here with Atletico Madrid and Villareal. Maybe Mallorca get a result against Betis. But either way, that is going to do it for La Liga predictions for this week. So if you did enjoy it, please do drop a like. Leave your predictions down in the comments below. Subscribe while you're there. And I'll see you in the next video very soon.